Hey guys, it's Angel, and today I'm going to be going over with you the question 1 on the practice RQ and preparation for the RQ on chapter 3 that you have going on. So just some general tips again for the course. Make sure that you read your book. That's the number one advice that I can give you. Read your book if you can before the PQ, along with knocking out all the homework. I know that sounds like a lot, but this is a very important class for you. It's also a filter class, meaning that this is a class that they kind of use to knock out some of the people who necessarily aren't ready for what's the next step. So just stay strong and definitely do as much as you can before the PQ, because in that way the RQ and the exam will come a lot easier to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Question 1 asks, select the name that is correct according to IUPAC rules. And so just some rules that we want to keep in mind is we want to have our longest chain first as the base for the foundation. Simple branching is better than complex branching. You want to have the correct numbering, meaning that you want to have like 2 bromo if 2 bromo is the best option over 1 bromo, let's say. And then you also want to make sure that everything is alphabetical order, ethyls before methyls, methyls before propyls, and so forth. So question 1, what we're going to do for this one, usually I'd have structures like these already drawn out for you, but for these questions on the RQ and the exam, you're actually going to have to draw each one out and see that it is or is not the correct structure. So A, 2-ethyl, 3-methyl pentane. So you want to do the pentane first, that's the base, and then 2-ethyl, 3-methyl. Okay, so first thing we want to look for, longest chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice that we do not have the longest chain. Hexane should actually be our base, and we should actually call this a 3,4 dimethylhexane. So A is a no-go. Okay, so moving on to B. B is 4-isobutyl-heptane, so we're going to draw our heptane first. 6, 7. So we've got heptane and then 4-isobutyl. So 2, 3, and it's iso. Because it's more isolated, we're going to draw the methyl group on this carbon farther away from the base. If we had drawn it here, that would have been sec-butyl, but just remember that iso is farther away. It's isolated away from the base. Okay, so now looking at this structure, we're going to look for our longest chain. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, still a heptane, and if we go the other way, it'll also still be a heptane. But something to notice though is that when we do go this way, that we have a propyl and a methyl rather than an isobutyl. Same thing if we were to go this way, we'd have a propyl and a methyl rather than isobutyl. So that is actually not correct. Even though the longest chain is fine, the name goes by complex branching, where instead it should go by the simple branching. So B is out of the picture as well. Okay, 2 down. C, we want to draw the hexane first. Okay, then 2 bromo, 6 cyclopentyl, and 5 methyl. Okay, so let's look for our longest chain, which is the hexane, so that's okay. No complex branches to deal with. Now let's look for the correct numbering. So here we had the bromine labeled at 2, the cyclopentyl at 6, and the methyl at 5. However, so that's looking at this carbon as the number 1 carbon. However, if we were to actually start this carbon as the number 1 carbon, we would have 1 cyclopentyl. We'd have the methyl at position 2 and the bromine at position, position 5. And so those numbers are much lower than the 2, 6, and 5 that are in the name, so that would be why that option is also a no-go. You could name that using the same chain, and there's no complex branching, but the numbering is incorrect. Okay, looking at D, octane. Okay, and then 2,2,6 trimethyl. So we'll start over here at 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 methyl, trimethyl, and then propyl, 5 propyl octane. Okay, so let's go ahead and look for our longest chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8, and then here we would have a sec-butyl and 2 methyls, but we don't want any complex branching, so we're not going to go with that one. Let's say if we tried it a different direction, not so long, and you could continue to do that, and you'll find that you keep getting 8, and you keep getting 3 methyls and 2 ethyls. So this looks like this would be the right one. We've got the longest chain okay, we've got the simple branching, correct numbering. We've got the 2,2 trimethyls first, 2 being the lowest number that we can get for a chain, and then it's in alphabetical order, methyl before propyl. So that looks like that's going to be our right answer, but we always want to make sure by looking at our last answer on the RQ. You also want to make sure, if you have that extra minute, take that extra 30 seconds even to just look over that last answer and make sure that you are correct. So octane for E, and then 2,2-dimethyl, 5-ethyl. Okay, so we're going to look for our longest chain. We're going to start over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would not be greater than octane, so that's a no-go. So then it looks like our longest chain is okay. We've got our first branches hitting here, so 2,2-dimethyl, that's okay. So then that would mean the 5-ethyl is also good. However, what you got to notice is that here the methyl comes before the ethyl, but E comes before M in the alphabet. So that's why that one is not correct.